Supervisor, which is Mission, Bernal Heights, and the Portola. And I usually like to talk about sort of where I come from because it kind of has put me on my path to where I am today. I grew up in Los Angeles, and my father is an immigrant worker who came to this country undocumented and worked in low-wage jobs my whole life growing up. And so I would watch him face discrimination and mistreatment on the job and stand up for himself and his coworkers, and watch him suffer the consequences often for that. And that had a very big impact on me. My mom was a school teacher, a union school teacher, and she was sort of the stable breadwinner of the family. And I saw the difference a union can make, basically, and making sure that workers have voice on a job. And so I always say that if it wasn't for the rent control, they still live in the same rent control department that I was born in. They've been living there for 40 years. And my mom's union pension, that they'd be living with me today because there's no way that they could survive off my dad's Social Security check. And so these types of policies and issues around tenant rights, worker rights, really have had a direct impact on my life, and were the driving force behind me going to law school to become a social justice public interest attorney. I went to UC Berkeley School of Law. That's what brought me to the Bay Area. And when I graduated, moved to the Mission to work at La Raza Centro Legal, which is an organization serving the Latino immigrant community. I worked there for 6.5 years representing day laborers and domestic workers. I wrote the first version of the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights, which Tom Amiano carried and eventually became state law in California. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got involved in policy and applied for a job with David Campos and have been working with him for the past 6.5 years, writing incredible laws to protect San Franciscans and District 9 residents, including 4 of the strongest eviction protection laws, put 750 units of affordable housing in the pipeline, protected women from harassment at Planned Parenthood in the district, rehoused all the victims of fires who were displaced from the Mission, protected, make sure women are earning equal pay for equal work through city contracts, etc. And so I decided to run for supervisor because our city is in crisis. And we're facing the worst affordability crisis that we've ever seen, and it's threatening to change everything we love about San Francisco. And I'll finish with the top issues that I want to work on are building thousands of units of affordable housing in the district, creating a universal preschool program for all 4-year-olds, which is something we should have had a long time ago, and then finally really addressing our homeless crisis, which has had a great impact on District 9 in particular.